Hi, I'm Ezelle from the upcoming. Lovely to speak to you both. Congratulations on a fantastic film. When you started and you set out with this, did you expect it to turn out the way that it did?
Honestly, yes.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, the story is just so rich. You know, the world is so visceral. The girls have kept diaries from such a young age up until the age of 30. So we have so much material to pull from, so many different stories. And so I think for us, we were spoilt for choice with what we could kind of pinpoint and kind of express.
But you had a vision right from the start.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it was very fun to dive in and kind of journal the passing of time through the 70s into the 80s, what kind of teenage fashion was for these little black teenage girls that were listening to, being influenced to all kinds of music. At one point they were listening to rock and pop, at one minute they were listening to Earth, Wind and Fire and Boney M and soul, and then they'd go to Donna Summer and it'd be a bit more disco. So we wanted to kind of express that in how they were expressing themselves creatively as well.
And what was it like bringing that ensemble cast to screen and having obviously Letitia and Tamara in their roles?
Yeah, it was
crazy. Yeah, the chemistry between them both on set was eerie. It felt like the real twins, even though none of us had met the real twins. But there was something about it that it just fell into place very quickly.
There was something about the chemistry and the sort of the tension that existed between their parents as well. Nadine and Trevor. I think what they were able to capture was that nervousness that existed when the parents kind of didn't know what was happening with the girls, and I think it was kind of both beautiful and kind of quite sad at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the acting it's sort of universally acknowledged that the acting is exceptional in the film, and we're so proud of our cast. They did an amazing job under very difficult circumstances as well, because we were shooting during a pandemic in Poland in the depths of winter. It was minus 10 degrees.
Are we
It
allowed
wasn't
to
easy.
say how we left?
Yes.
I mean, we left on the 31st of December when the government was closed, stopping flights. We had to get on a private jet. We had to fly.
Charter a private aircraft to get everyone out there. Yeah. On
we
the
all had
11th
2 days
hour.
notice to leave.
Yeah.
So it was very intense, and we had a very short window for prep in the UK, and we wanted to make sure that a lot of the clothing that you see in Wales is coming from communities. I was working with incredible costume houses across the UK, went down to Wales as well to make sure that we were finding things that would have been in their vicinity when they were getting dressed and getting ready. Really exciting.
And in terms of obviously having access to the diaries and working with Marjorie Wallace for this, how was that?
It was really, really special, actually. I was involved for about, 8 to 10 months before we actually went into production. And we were, like you say, working closely with Marjorie Wallace, who has access to a lot of these diaries. And so she very kindly shared, some of them with us. And as you probably know, that not only informed the film itself, but actually we drew very heavily from these diaries in the poetry and the music and the speech throughout the film. So yeah, it was fascinating, and that was something that actually it helped lockdown pass much more easily, poring over these fascinating stories and poems and diaries that the twins have written. And yeah, it was incredible. It was such a privilege to have access to all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for speaking to me. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.